Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we appreciate you coming on with us. And just because I'm in a different location this morning, I would ask you if you can see me, hear me. I have to let you let me know if technically everything is good. Okay, Gary, how are you? Lise, good morning. Marina, how are you? John, Elgin, Illinois. Francis Marie. Okay. Regina. Rosa. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, everybody's giving me the thumbs up. So you can see me, you can hear me. Good. Okay. Kevin, Carol, Nick from our staff. Good morning. And Wendy, good morning. Deanna. And Anne. Nice to have you on, guys, this morning. Jordan, good morning from Oklahoma. And who was there? Claire, Suzanne, Marie-Ange, Mary. Again, thanks, guys, for coming on. Catherine, Regina, Carol, and Brahim, our friend from Portland, Oregon. Petra. Hi, Petra, from Pickering. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Thanks for coming on. Anne says she hears me perfectly. Cindy, Shirley, Newfoundland. Good morning, Newfoundland. Bill, Catherine from, another one from Newfoundland, Springdale. Sue, how are you? Gloria, good morning. Michelle, Trinidad. Sarah. And Francis is from Vaughan. Nellie, Yolande, bonjour. Dave and Anna. Barbara. And Carol Ann. Erica, good morning. Margaret. Oops, Dr. Martin, not morning. Donna, Brenda, Susan, TGIF. Yeah, it's Friday. Good morning, Julie. In Sturgeon Falls, Vera, Cheryl. Couple more and let's get going with our questions. Deanne and Jean Prenoveau, dear friends. Carol, how are you? South Africa. Wow. Donna, Rita, Nancy, Leamington, Patricia from Calgary, Julie. Well, good morning to you. Sharon, Lakefield, beautiful area. Lynn, good morning to you. Jane, boy, that scroll is really rolling this morning. Catherine, Fran from Orangeville. A beautiful Viderma day where I am here this morning too. Carolyn, Jocelyn, and Marilyn, right from Edmonton. Well, good morning, bright and early. Maria, Sandra, guys, okay, and Rose. We love you guys. I mean it. Deanna LaSalle. Nuha, where are you from, Nuha? Giovanna from Palmerston, Ontario. Nuha is from Ottawa. Okay. Dave, and 2 days in a row. Okay, here we go. Here we go with our questions, okay? Now, I think it was Marnie that was asking about a child that gets repeated styes in their eyes. So let me answer that question first. Well, what is that? It's bacterial. And, kids are always touching their eyes and, one of the things that if it's recurring, usually what's happening there is the immune system isn't really doing what it should do. One of the things that is most important in the immune system, Marnie, is, especially in kids, is vitamin A. Vitamin A, remember what I always said? Vitamin A is an invisible mask. You can't see vitamin A, but it really protects your eyes, nose, mouth. Ears, nose, and throat. Oh, that's an ears, nose, and throat specialist. Yeah, it protects your ears too. Vitamin A is a key. And a lot of times kids are not getting enough vitamin A. Well, adults too. If you have a poor immune system, I always talk about 2 vitamins especially. Vitamin D, Viderma, the sun, vitamin D. And by the way, let me just say this about vitamin D, because there's a story that came out, I think it was in Forbes magazine or whatever. Stop taking vitamin D. Stop taking vitamin D. Folks, I have never heard such nonsense in my life. I can show people through the Vitamin D Council who accumulate studies on vitamin D. I can show people 150 studies that tell you the importance of vitamin D. I'm writing a book right now, Sun, Steak, and Steel. Sleep, all S's except one, C, coffee, because that's going to be in there too. The real vitamin C. Now, but listen to what I'm saying. When people tell you don't take vitamin D, they really are, I can't get over it. If through the virus, I just want to say about a therapeutic, they have shown if your vitamin D levels are in a good range, I even like them higher than that, but what they've said, if they're in a good range, your chances of getting viruses or whatever are almost out the window. Vitamin D is good for from your head to your toes. Now, okay, I got sidetracked. Vitamin A is only found in the animal kingdom. So when they tell you, carrots are good for you, yeah, they're good for you. I got no problem with carrots. But carrots are a precursor to vitamin A. They're beta-carotene. That's not proretinol A. Proretinol A is only found in the animal kingdom. And a lot of children, adults too, but let me just talk, Marnie, about your child. A lot of children don't get enough vitamin A because they don't eat enough eggs, they don't eat enough meat, and they don't eat enough cheese. Why do you think I love those foods? A lot of people think, well, why do you talk about that all the time? Excuse me. Because that is where your nutrients are. That is where your vitamins are. I'm not saying don't eat from the plant kingdom, but don't think you're getting everything you need from the plant kingdom because you can't get vitamin A. Vitamin A is found in the animal kingdom. You're meant to eat it. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. You need vitamin A because it's the invisible mask. The invisible mask. It's the mask that everyone should be wearing. You can't see it, but it protects your eyes. We all know that vitamin A is good for your eyes. Remember when you were a kid? Your mommy used to say, eat your carrots, it's good for your eyes. Well, they weren't completely wrong because that was a precursor to vitamin A. But the real vitamin A is found in eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay? The multivitamin you should be eating is eggs, meat, and cheese. And when you get recurring styes, it's an immune thing. And because kids are always going to have dirty hands. You can wash your hands 100 times a day. That's not the point. It's not, look, I'm not telling you not to wash your hands, but don't overwash your hands. We're meant to live with bacteria. We're meant to live with viruses. And if you have a healthy immune system, you got nothing to worry about, honey. Okay? Thanks for the question, Marnie. We appreciate it. Okay, let me get to Colleen. I would like to ask Dr. Martin about sleep apnea and fat tongue. Okay? Okay, well, look, she's asking if sleep apnea can be reversed. Well, let me tell you this. What they're showing with sleep apnea, it's insulin resistant. Now, you're not going to hear that in the mainstream. You just will not hear it. It's a lack of oxygen going up to the brain when you're sleeping. It's an impairment of oxygen. That's what they say sleep apnea is. But that's not the bottom line. Why do we see so much sleep apnea today compared to when I graduated in 1974? Why do we see so much? Why is it there's sleep clinics almost in every city in North America? Why is there sleep clinics? People can't sleep, and then they say, oh, Dave, you weren't breathing, and blah, 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 that's dangerous, which I agree, by the way. But what is the bottom line? What has changed? You see, I'm a history guy. And if in the 1970s we didn't have, I'm sure there was some sleep apnea, but there's not like there is today. Would we all agree with that? Like it's like you hear so much about it. People are traveling with their machines. They can't sleep and they'll pull your license if you don't sleep with your sleep apnea machine once you got diagnosed. But what's the bottom line? Why? Insulin. Insulin. Food. We're carboholics. And people get literally, instead of getting fatty liver, which you would have anyways, pretty well, you get fatty tongue. You get a fatty tongue. And literally the reset. You know how many thousands of people have done the reset? Why do we have the reset? Because in 30 days, you can turn insulin resistance on its head. You can put it into neutral, where it belongs. You can rejig your cells. You can lose that fatty tongue. Yes, there's hope for sleep apnea. I'm not telling you, please, don't go tell everybody Dr. Martin said, get rid of my machine. I didn't say that. What I am saying, get to the bottom line, why? And when you understand why, then you have a treatment for it. You have a treatment for it. You want to reverse insulin resistance. Because insulin resistance, I'm telling you, is at the root of almost any chronic disease that you can think of. Any of them. So, thanks, Colette, for that. Okay, come on now. I want to turn this off so I can get my 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm just playing with my iPad. That was Colleen. Thanks, Colleen, for that. We really appreciate it. Susan, my mother has been off metformin, because we talked about that the other day, didn't we? Metformin. And for 5 years now, she would like to know how long it takes for the chemicals to leave the body. Well, look, probably not long, probably about 3 or 4 weeks, depending. If you're on probiotics, it will take, they will take garbage out of your body. No, it doesn't take long to get rid of that out of your tissue. But now look, we talked about metformin the other day. Why did we do that? Because they were finding that metformin was really good for bipolar. And the thing is, the problem with metformin, so think about this for a minute, okay? And again, I didn't say it. This was a study that is showing that metformin off-label can be treated, can be a treatment for bipolar disorder. And they say it's quite effective. Well, why is that? What does metformin do? It lowers blood sugar. And again, all I tell you is, when I hear that, why don't we do the natural way and change our diets? The problem is with bipolar, and it's like this with depression, people, what I found over the years, one of the problems that I saw in a practical way is a lack of compliance. I was talking yesterday to a mental health practitioner, and we were talking about this, about the diet. And, you know, it was interesting because he was very knowledgeable and was big time into nutrition, big time. And he didn't really know me before this conversation, but, you know, we had a good chat about mental health. And he was aware of this new study on metformin and mental health. And you know, what he didn't quite understand, because his background was in nutrition, even though he's very interested in it, is what exactly, why was metformin effective? I told him why. Because it's fixing the underlying condition, or at least helping, because I've always said that when it comes to bipolar, you really got to change people's diet. And the problem with that, and he agreed with this, was the problem is with conformity. Because he understood the importance of food, the importance of exercise in mental health. I mean, we talked about that. Perfect agreement. But he said the problem is whether they conform to it, whether they actually do it. We set up programs, but will they do it? Yeah, that's the key. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't necessarily make them drink it. But at least if you have information, and I used to be in my office that's why I love the 30-day program, because I said, look, can you do 30 days? Give me a month of your life. Give me 1 month of your life. Trust me for a month. You came to see me. Now you need to trust me. I'm going to give you a protocol. I want you to go home and follow it. You have any questions, we're going to be with you. We're going to pump your tires up. When you get discouraged, we'll be with you all the way. But you need to start the program, because there's no magic pill. And metformin's not a magic pill, because if you don't change your diet, you're not fixing the underlying problem. Again, here we are with bipolar. And guess what? It's insulin resistance. Bad eating, bad brain. Okay, thanks for the question. Susan and Joyce, I wonder what and how does septic arthritis develop, and there are any supplements to help it go away? Well, look, when you look at septic arthritis, any kind of arthritis, we've done many podcasts on anything itis, an infection, or which can be acute, or polymyalgia rheumatica, which is again it's an autoimmune. The body turns on itself. Septic arthritis always starts. This is it starts usually in the gut. Leaky gut, leaky joints. And so you want to fix leaky gut. Probiotics, and don't feed the bears. Whenever you get leaky gut, you're going to get yeast into the bloodstream, and you want to stop feeding the bears. Don't give them any food. And sugar and crappy carbohydrates are the worst thing for inflammation. The worst thing to feed yeast, because yeast loves to travel through the blood, loves joints, loves the brain. We talked about that yesterday, or was it yesterday or day before, whatever, with heavy metals. How do heavy metals get into your tissue? They're transported by yeast. Fungal, candida. So get rid of that, Joyce. Get rid of your fungal infection, because at the end of the day, that's what leaky gut brings to your joints or your skin. Okay? Thank you for the question. We appreciate it, Joyce. Sherry. Oh yeah, I want to sing, Sherry. I want to sing. What are Dr. Martin's thoughts on progesterone? Sorry, that's Sandy. Sherry, could you please clarify why some diabetics are put on insulin? Well, listen, This is different. Once you are officially a diabetic, you know what that means? It means that your insulin's not working anymore. Your pancreas is not secreting insulin properly. Now that is your blood sugars are in dangerous zones. Insulin's not doing the job to take your sugar out of your bloodstream. That's what it means, Sherry, okay? So it's different in a way. It starts with insulin resistance, bad eating, sugar, carbs, crappy carbs, okay? And you get insulin resistance. Your cells go, oh, I can't stand. You're always sending insulin around. And your cells resist it. And what that means is the more and more they resist, but insulin's got a job to do. It doesn't care if it gets resisted. It will just pour out more and more and more till it can't do it anymore. That's what diabetes is. Diabetes is insulin resistance gone amok. There's a point that now insulin can't keep up. And sugar stays in the bloodstream, which can kill you. And then they give you insulin. They usually start with metformin and insulin, or one or the other. And then when you're bad, they give you insulin. And look, insulin is a wonderful, guys, listen to me. Medicine does wonderful things. And one of them is insulin. It can save people's life, especially in type 1 diabetics. But the question is, and I get what you're getting at, is why are they giving insulin when insulin's the bad guy? Well, insulin's the bad guy when you make it the bad guy. Insulin never is a bad guy if it's controlled, if you don't use it too much. Because you need insulin. You can't live without insulin. And that's why type 1 diabetics is an autoimmune disease that their pancreas doesn't produce insulin properly. So that's different. But the diet is still the same because they don't get along with carbs. When you insist on eating sugars and carbs, this is why I tell people, if you have diabetes, you have an allergy, right? How many times have I said that? 1 million? You have an allergy to carbs. You got to get rid of them. Your body does not metabolize carbohydrates or sugars. But medicine doesn't teach that. They just give you insulin. They don't, and if there's any nutrition talk, they send you to a dietitian, says, well, you need sugar because your brain won't live without sugar, and you need some sugar, just, drink orange juice, and I scream. Why am I screaming? Because I get a headache. Why do I get a headache? Because it's stupid. If you have an allergy to something, why would you give that? You can't break down carbohydrates. If you want to put diabetes into remission, you gotta get off the carbs. It's amazing what happens. That's why the reset, remember, reset was set up originally at the Martin Clinic for what? To put diabetics into remission. And when I did it with hundreds, then thousands, I wrote a book about it. And then I started putting people with high blood pressure, people with cardio things, with cardiovascular disease. I started putting people that had cancer or were worried about cancer. I started putting people with hormones, all on the reset. Reset, reset, reset. But originally it was for diabetes. Originally, I was looking a way to put a person into remission, where they would turn their lives around, and it worked. Thank you very much, Sherry. Well, like I said, I want to sing when I hear that name. Sandy, what are Dr. Martin's thoughts on progesterone pills? Well, I love progesterone. Here's the problem. I like bioidentical progesterone. Okay? I don't like horse's urine. Okay? Because that's where they make these synthetic hormones. Okay? Estrogen and progesterone. But I'm a big fan of progesterone. Of course, I love progesterone. I love estrogen too, if it's balanced. I'm a big guy on balance. I never gave a patient estrogen, ever. Okay? But I'm a big guy on elevating progesterone levels, for sure, because that's a big problem today. That's why I created the menopause formula. It's to elevate progesterone. But I like progesterone. I just don't like synthetic progesterone, because it's usually made from horse's urine. What? Yeah. How do you think they make the birth control pill? Ooh. Anyway. Okay. Deb, does Canadian bacon have the same nutritional goodness as regular bacon? Yeah. For sure. They're both great. Eat your bacon. Eat your bacon, folks. Somebody, they always argue with me like, bacon, ooh, that's so bad for you. It is processed, blah, 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 blah. But listen to this. What I said, do you like olive oil? Oh, well, for sure, olive oil is good for you. It's part of the Mediterranean diet. I said, you know what makes olive oil good for you? I don't know. I said, the oil? Yeah. I said, well, what's in that oil? I don't know. I said, well, it's oleic acid. That's what makes olive oil good for you. I said, guess what's in bacon? And they look at me like I got two heads. Oleic acid. And I said, I like bacon better than olive oil, because you get the oil, plus you get saturated fat, which is satisfied fat, which is very good for you. You get oleic acid, you get saturated fat, you get protein, and bacon tastes better than olive oil. True or false? True. Well, give your kids bacon, not olive oil. They won't like olive oil, but they sure will like bacon. Is it good for you? It's 100%. And you like Canadian bacon? Yeah, me too. I like it. I love bacon. Somebody said to me, Dr. Martin, I get sick of bacon. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. What do you mean you get sick of it? I've been drinking coffee since my teenage years. And every morning I get up, I gotta go, I love coffee. I never get sick of it. What do you mean you get sick of it? I've been eating bacon since I'm knee-high to a grasshopper. I don't get sick of bacon. I love bacon. And when you find out how good it is for you, why wouldn't you eat it if you like it? It's like eggs. Oh yeah, but not cholesterol. Oh. Do you like eggs? Yeah. Why would you get sick of it? I've been eating eggs all my life. I don't even limit it. Why would I limit it? I like it. When I'm full, I don't eat anymore. How's that? Okay. Thank you very much. Deb, Andrea, what causes white pigmentation on the skin? Well, look, there's a couple of things. Anything on the skin, okay? Anything on the skin, look inside out. It's never just superficial, unless it's a bug bite, okay? No, but pigmentation, look inside. Your skin is your largest organ. It's what you see, but it is a reflection of what's going on inside the body. And again, where you want to look primarily is in the gut. Because your gut is the home of most of your microbiome, and you need a healthy microbiome. if you want to have healthy skin. So I would start right there, Andrea. Start with leaky gut, fix the leaky gut. A lot of times you have a fungal yeast or candida, all the same, going through your body. You don't realize it, but it can. Now, the other thing that can pigment your skin is insulin. Yes, insulin resistance. And when people are diabetic or even in a pre-diabetic state, they can have pigmentation on their skin. Fix insulin. I know I sound like a broken record. I know I sound like a broken record, but I will repeat and repeat and rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. That's me. Because when you find the solution to these things, and I'm a big guy primarily, first of all, food. And I'm very big on probiotics. I'm very big on vitamin D. Skin, vitamin D, Viderma. Okay. Cindy says, my naturopath says high vitamin D values will cause kidney stones. Well, look, I love naturopaths, okay? But kidney stones do not come from vitamin D. You think they do, but they don't. If you listen to traditional medicine, they come from vitamin D. It's terrible for you. Another reason not to take vitamin D, because it will cause kidney stones. Well, no. Okay, no. Here are the causes of kidney stones, okay? Dehydration, sugar, especially fructose, cause kidney stones. You're drinking too much soda. You're drinking too much pop. And so that's a really, that's a huge cause, fructose. And you know what the other thing that causes kidney stones? Dehydration, fructose, sugar, honey. And thirdly, you know what causes kidney stones? Very important you understand this. Very important you understand this. Okay? That kidney stones are caused by oxalates. Oxalates. You know what oxalates are? They come from veggies. Oxalates. When you're living on, you're not a rabbit. When you live on salad, you get oxalates. And oxalates are 75% of kidney stones, 75% of them are oxalates. 25% of them are uric acid stones, and that's caused by fructose. And dehydration is a factor. So I beg to differ with your naturopath. I beg to differ in all due respect to them, because they're listening to the traditional nonsense that's out there, and it's nonsense. People are not lined up in the hospitals because they're getting kidney stones. Oh, I know why you're getting kidney stones. You're taking too much vitamin D. It's nonsense. I'm sorry. It's nonsense. Okay, now, Joan, what are the pros and cons of well water? Well, I like well water because that's natural spring water. Now, make sure, that I would filter water, because the problem in well water at times can be heavy metals can be in it. Depends what the soil is like around it. But one thing about well water, it is full of minerals, and it's very good for you. But I would do a filter of it to make sure you're getting rid of heavy metals. If there's any heavy metal, you can have your water tested for that. Get it tested. If it's not showing anything, then I just don't know a better water. That's what I love about spring water. Natural spring water. Well water. You got well water that's good water? Hey man. You know me and H2O. I love water. Water's good for you. So all I'm saying is enjoy. And get it checked. Make sure. And if you need to do a filter of it, then put a filter on it. And, again, you might, get it checked for bacteria content and that kind of thing. But, then it's tremendous water. Because the more minerals there are in the water, the better the water is. It's just as simple as that. Okay? And I realize today you can have, all sorts of different kinds of water. Don't go spend a lot of money on water. Okay? Don't. But you can put a pinch of salt in water and you've got mineral water. Okay? Thanks for the question. Okay, guys. We love you guys, and we thank you for all the questions here this morning. We appreciate it. I think I covered all of them. And remember, you can share this with your friends. You can, share this on Facebook. We appreciate that. Get people to listen to the Doctors in podcast. We appreciate that too. You've made that such a big success. And we thank you. You guys are great. We love you, and we'll talk to you soon.